Now in the first video you should have seen how to use strings, how to use variables, and how to use the print function. Now the next part that we want to start adding is how to get the user to add an input. So to use an input, we can actually put input bracket and then speech marks. Now within that, this is what the question is going to be. So let's say, what is your name? And then there's a question mark there. Now we want to give this a variable, and I'll show you why. So if I get rid of this up here, if I do input, what is your name? Run that. If I then do, and I just put a name, it doesn't actually do anything when I hit enter, because I haven't told it to do anything with that information. So what we can do is we can actually set a variable to that name. So let's call it username. So I've used a capital for username. So I'm going to actually put print capital username. So let's just see, yep, so run that. So here, if I put John, hit enter, you can see it prints what the user wrote here. It doesn't print what is your name, it actually prints what the person input. Now this can be very useful if you wanted to have a welcome message to your quiz. So say for example, if I had speech marks here, you can add separate parts together, and I'll show you how to do that now. So I can write a message here, welcome to my game, and if I do a comma there, and just leave it like that, let's run that, let's see what happens. So you get welcome to my game, John. Now what's happened is because of the comma, it's added as two separate elements, which we don't want. So you can see that it's put that in speech marks, that in speech marks, and that in brackets. Doesn't look great, so what we can do is if we add a plus symbol there instead and run it, you should see, make sure that I click over here, so I can type in there. You should see that it says, welcome to my game, John. So what we need to do is at the end of this speech mark, because there's no gap between game and John, if we add a space here, when we run this again, let's change the name, let's try James, you can see, welcome to my game, James. So the idea with this is it makes it much more user-friendly, and it allows users to feel more welcome to your game. So they can put whatever name they want in there, and it will come up because it's stored it as a variable, which means that we can use it within our program.